Hey, welcome back to Buckets and Bibles. So I got a little bit of a rant, but not really. Let us be clear. If we are brothers and sisters in Christ, we should be of one accord. And if you are led to salvation, I got paint on my hands, I'm working. If you're led to salvation and you have faith in Messiah, your salvation is in that faith, and that is 100% true. But it's going to do you it's not going to do you justice if the rest of understanding is not explained to you. Being born again, we try not to sin and follow in the Messiah's footsteps. If you don't understand biblically what sin is according to the Father, then you don't have an understanding of sin. Our feelings matter like not at all. Like, it doesn't matter how me and you feel about something, and it doesn't matter what my truth is or your truth. What matters is His truth, and His word is truth. So we have to base our understanding of sin off of what the scriptures line out. And there's two spots in the Word that I've found that describe it in the New Testament. These are New Testament definitions. One is 1 John 3:4. Sin is lawlessness. Anybody that commits sin is also committing lawlessness. Or something to that effect. Is probably not perfect. So what law? It's the Father's. That should be written on our hearts. And we should know these things. It's our responsibility to study and find out what they mean to the Father. Not to us, not to man, not to your pastor or rabbi, or what does the word say and what does it mean to the Father? And the other one in the New Testament says, if you know the right thing to do and you don't do it, for you that is sin. That's your personal walk. I could have a conviction about not fishing on a certain day of the week, or whatever it is. I can have a personal conviction that I feel like the Father's leading me to or leading me from. If I start to enforce that personal conviction on you, I've just now started another religion, another doctrine on what my beliefs are according to the Bible. There's 41,000 different Christian denominations. Different. Which is that's not the body as one. that's not the way it is. So I follow the Torah, the written law that Messiah did. He kept the Sabbath, he kept the feast days, all the disciples did. Even after Messiah had died and been risen, they were still keeping the feast. And you can study your word and see that wasn't done away with. If it was done away with, why were they still doing it? It doesn't make any sense. And then you can go all the way to Revelations. In the end times, Revelations 12:17, it's talking about that the dragon was furious with the woman and went off to make war with the remnant of her seed, those who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yeshua Messiah. So if you're a born-again Christian, you have to understand what sin is to the Father. It ain't about what sin is to you or your pastor or your buddy or whatever. You have to understand biblically what it means to Him. And so let me blow the false doctrines out there that don't have the completeness of understanding. The Word is truth. It's not going to lie to you. The Bible can define the Bible. It is your responsibility to understand what sin is. So,
can I touch on that?
Yeah. So this is tactically Torah.
What's up, guys? So I'm going to take that just one step further, because a lot of people in general like to say that the law was nailed to the cross. And we have to understand a distinction, that the law was not nailed to the cross, because Jesus, Messiah, Yeshua, He came and He Himself said that He embodied the Torah. So if He came to embody the Torah, that Torah did not go away. He just wanted to show us how to fully walk that out in love and compassion, one towards the Father and one towards man, my brother right here, mankind in general, operating in such a level of compassion that it hurts you to see somebody else in a a terrible situation, you see that they are in need of healing, and you stretch out your hand, and because of the authority bestowed upon you by the Spirit of the Most High, they are healed, right? But the word also says that it was the doctrines and dogmas of man that were passed away. It was not the law itself, it was the doctrines and dogmas of man. So we have all of these commands. Yeshua said in John 14, if you love me, obey my commands. Okay, well that's easy, the 10 commandments, right? Make it super practical, tactical, very basic. All of the laws and commands hang on 2. Love God, love people. If you can execute on that, you're pretty much doing good. And then the rest of the commands go into how to actually do both of those.
Yeah, and you know, Messiah wasn't rail against the Sadducees and Pharisees for keeping the Father's commandments. He was railing against them for their man-made tradition being held above those commandments. And that's the difference, because it's not Christianity and it's not Judaism. Those are man-made things with their own traditions. Biblically, there's commandments for the Father's people, and that's what you're supposed to do, because Messiah did it. We're supposed to follow in his footsteps. He wasn't in the synagogues on Shabbat going, hey, pretty soon you ain't gonna have to do this stuff, so don't trip, homie, I got you. That's not what was going on.
Right.
So anyhow, that's a little quick rant. I was thinking about it. I saw some stuff on the internet and I was like, man, that's not it. Anyhow, thanks guys. Shalom.
Shalom.